television industry. Streaming and DVDs. Will the new TV golden age produce the first $20 million per show series? High-end production and exclusive content have become key weapons in the new fight for subscriptions. Mark Swaney at Mark Swaney. Email Sunday the 11th of February 2018 05:19 EST. Last modified on Sunday the 11th of February 2018 17:00 EST. Share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share via email. View more sharing options. Share on LinkedIn, share on Pinterest, share on Google+, share on WhatsApp, share on Messenger. Close as Hollywood stars and production crew line up for the increasingly astronomical rewards on offer to make high-end TV programs, the blockbuster movie is facing a new challenger: the first $20 million per episode TV show. Exclusive content has become the key weapon in the battle between rivals such as Netflix, Amazon, pay TV companies and entertainment giants such as Disney to win the hearts and wallets of viewers. Budgets are spiraling as the economics of the new global market has ushered TV into a golden age that has made previously unthinkable production costs viable. The final season of Game of Thrones pushed the bar to $15 million. £10.8 million per episode as the world's most popular show signs off with a special effects-laden bang when it returns next year. HBO's hit show has supplanted Netflix and Sony's lavish period drama The Crown, which had a $10 million per episode average spend, as the most expensive show currently on TV. Netflix, which has upped its programming spend by $1 billion to $8 billion this year, has said it could be tempted to back a $20 an hour production, but it would need to attract big audience numbers to work. Paul Lee, head of research for technology, media and telecoms at Deloitte, says a drama series averaging $20 million per episode in production costs will happen in 2018. There is so much competition out there. The more money you have chasing productions, the higher the prices will go. The new reality is there are new companies with massive global customer bases, Amazon, Netflix and now Apple coming in, that can afford these big budgets. This week, Disney confirmed it was working on a few TV series based on Star Wars for its upcoming service, as the entertainment giant looks to bring the $1B+ box office magic of the movie franchise to the small screen. The Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' edict to find a Game of Thrones-style hit for its Prime Video service to keep up with Netflix panicked executives into striking a $250 million deal for the rights to bring Lord of the Rings to TV, factor in $750 million on Starz and production for 5 seasons, and the reimagining of J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy world is likely to cost $20 million per episode. Apple's bid to become a major global force has also spurred a further round of cost inflation. It recently outbid even Netflix's seemingly bottomless pockets for a TV series starring Reese Witherspoon, who on top of her Hollywood star premium now commands astronomical fees following the success of HBO's Emmy-winning Big Little Lies, and Jennifer Aniston. Whenever there is talk about inflation in costs, we tend to think about stars, but it is really across the entire production crew, said Lee. From set builders and speech coaches to writers and directors, it is about supply and demand, and all of them are in great demand for film and TV work, and that means big cost increases. In the UK, budgets for high-end TV, defined as costing more than £1 million an hour, have exploded from £430 million to almost £1 billion per year over the last 5 years. High-end TV production in the UK has rapidly grown to half the size of the £1.9 billion industry for making Hollywood and independent films. Jeremy Darroch, the chief executive of Sky, intends to boost the £3 billion it spends on making and buying shows. Darroch says the mechanics of spending on exclusive programming works out far more cost-effective than, say, the £1.5 billion annual cost of rights to Premier League football. We plan to scale our budget over the next few years, says Darroch. The good thing about original productions, rather than acquired sports rights, is that it is show by show. The costs may aggregate to a big sum, but each individual show's costs are a lot less. Britannia cost £37 million gross, but 2/3 of that will defray by selling elsewhere to other markets, 125 territories. The net cost relative to other things is relatively efficient. James Richardson, the co-founder of Vertigo Films, the maker of Britannia, sees no sign of the market topping out at peak TV as demand for big-budget programs eats into the film industry. Vertigo Films built its reputation making independent films, such as Gareth Edwards' Monsters and Bronson starring Tom Hardy, but about 5 years ago made the decision to get out of the struggling market for smaller budget films. Something changed and broadcasters were all asking us to get involved in TV, says Richardson, who worked with a $6M per episode budget to make Britannia. We needed to move with the times. What is going on in high-end TV is mirroring what was going on at the height of independent film. There is a mass of places to get financed. It seems to be the place most exciting creatively. We are finding ourselves in a world we know well. If someone said to me, here is $20 million per episode, I'm not going to say no. The most expensive TV shows won Lord of the Rings, maybe, with Amazon paying $250 million just for the global rights. Expectations put the total cost for making 5 series at $1 billion. On a typical 10-episode run that would make it the first $20M an episode TV show. To The Get Down. Baz Luhrmann's The Get Down had a budget that hit up to $16 million for some episodes. It was cancelled after 1 season. 3. Game of Thrones. The fantasy juggernaut averaged about $10 million an episode, but the final series will mean fewer episodes, 6, longer in length with an average budget of $15 million. For The Crown. The lavish Netflix/Sony period drama reportedly costs between $10 million and $13 million an episode. 5. Band of Brothers. The executive producers Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks were behind the TV miniseries, with a $12.5 million budget per episode. 6. ER. At its peak, George Clooney and Friends made the medical drama worth $13 million an episode. 7. Friends. The hit show cost an eye-watering $10 million an episode. But with low production costs, it was the cast's $1M per person fees that made it so pricey. At home, HBO took the tough decision to cancel the BBC co-production, admitting that the $9.7 million that made it look so good was not sustainable beyond the first series. 9. Sense8. At $9 million per episode, Netflix decided that the fanbase was not large enough to support the economics of something that big and cancelled it after 2 series. 10. Marco Polo. Netflix spent $9 million an episode for 2 seasons before finally pulling the plug, with the production reportedly resulting in a $200 million loss. Boardwalk Empire. An honorable mention for the most expensive single episode made ever. HBO spent $18 million on the pilot. Each episode cost about $5 million. Topics: television industry, streaming and DVDs. Apple, Netflix, HBO, Amazon Prime Video. US television industry news. Share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share via email, share on LinkedIn, share on Pinterest, share on Google+, share on WhatsApp, share on Messenger.